think we're live now.
We
Yeah,
live.
we are. How are you?
I'm doing okay. It's been a hot minute since we've streamed together.
It has, hasn't it? It's pretty crazy, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. And we have some big news. We are only streaming this on the IBM developer stream. There is no co-stream happening, and that is because if you look at my picture, my video, I have a little title here that says "I work at Red Hat,"
Yes.
which is not the place I worked last time we did this.
That's true. Congratulations, sir. Welcome
Thank
to
you.
welcome
Um,
to an open source company. Yeah, Red Hat's mainly open source, right?
Yeah, it's all open source.
Ah,
We yeah, we provide subscriptions to open source software
nice. Nice.
so
So
that you
can
can get support and reliability and some other stuff I'm supposed to remember by now.
your title is OpenShift Belt. Um,
Managed OpenShift Black Belt.
Man, okay.
Yes.
How about we just start there? What is that?
Well, that is a very good question.
Hmm.
So obviously, let's start from the middle word, OpenShift.
Okay.
OpenShift. Hopefully, JJ, you're familiar with it. For
I've,
people at home, OpenShift is a platform built on top of Kubernetes that brings more features to the user and provides several interfaces depending on what kind of user you are. If you're a hardcore power user like JJ, you
mhm.
might just use kubectl commands. If you're like a sysadmin like myself, you might be using the OpenShift CLI. And then if you're a developer, you might be using either the OpenShift CLI, or you might even be using the OpenShift pipelines or OpenShift GitOps and never even caring about the fact that there's a Kubernetes down there somewhere. So
Ah,
that's OpenShift. And then the managed portion of that is we have a number of products that are uh, OpenShift that are fully managed by Red Hat for you so that you don't have to get into the nuts and bolts of running OpenShift and Kubernetes. You can just use it. So it is very similar to, say, a public cloud's Kubernetes service, except we provide a lot more than just Kubernetes because it's the whole OpenShift platform. And you can do it in just about all of the major clouds. In fact, I would say yes, all the major clouds, including IBM Cloud. And in fact, IBM Cloud was one of the first um, super resilient versions of managed OpenShift.
wait. There are
And
other
I
clouds than the IBM cloud out there. I didn't know
that's
this.
that's what I'm told. That's what I'm told.
By the way, the Chris Short. I know this is a troll, but I got to ask, what's a Kubernetes from the chat room?
Chris, Kubernetes is it's a place that it's designed to complicate a operator's life so that they'll spend more money with vendors
There you go.
to to decomplicate their lives.
Oh, that's good. That's good. All right. So okay, Paul. So we are, as you said, you've moved on to Red Hat. You're learning more about OpenShift. What is the
Yep.
first thing that you were genuinely surprised with when it came to OpenShift? When you came from the Kubernetes vanilla ecosystem into OpenShift, what was the first thing you were just like, "Oh, that's interesting."
Let me think. Okay, so I spun up a managed OpenShift cluster in Azure, which is I think my first time using Azure,
Okay.
and it took like 3 clicks of a keyboard and about 45 minutes. And so that was really cool.
Okay.
And then I got a login to it. I logged in. So it took me to like a pretty comprehensive dashboard. And I had this button here that is like OpenShift Quick Start is available. So I clicked it and it basically gave me a tour through Openshift and got me deploying a Openshift pipeline. And so having that like really good, like as if I've never seen Openshift before, which is nearly true, to actually doing something useful, it guided me the whole way. And I deployed a fairly simple Django app. I think it used source to image first, and then it switched me across to a pipeline and did it with a pipeline. And so I thought it was really cool. I'd never even once ran kubectl, but I had a running application that was somewhere nearly GitOps.
Okay. Okay. All right. That feels good. That
So I
feels
thought
good.
that was a really cool experience. I enjoyed that.
Nice.
As someone that has spent many an hour fighting kubectl commands just to like run an app that's sitting in source code sitting in GitHub somewhere, I thought it was really good, really neat experience. And I was
Okay.
able to basically then take that and point it at another Git repo of mine, and it just worked for that Git repo as well.
Nice. Okay. So you gravitated towards the consumer guardrails that existed that made OpenShift. Maybe I'm putting words in your mouth, but a delight, first time delight to use. Is that a good way of
Yeah,
saying
I'll
it?
I'll, I'll say that I'll say it was delightful. I would say that my mean time to dopamine was very low. It was
Okay.
very very fast.
Nice.
Obviously, there's a cluster spin up time, and I'm ignoring that because it takes time to spin up a cluster no matter what you're getting. So I didn't really count that. But from when the cluster was running and to when I did a first useful thing, it was 5 minutes, and it was
Nice.
fully guided. I didn't have to guess at anything,
Okay.
and I was still actually doing it though. It wasn't like showing me a demo. It was saying a little side panel is saying, okay, now go here and click that. Did that work? Yes, no, and sort of it walked you through it. It was really good. I enjoyed it.
Nice. Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So we've established now we are experiencing some OpenShift. We're going down this path. What are we actually going to stream today? What do you think we should focus on trying to play around with to hopefully gain
Right.
a little bit more knowledge here?
So one of the things I have kind of just rediscovered in the last 6 months or so is Ansible,
Okay.
and how nice Ansible is for orchestrating complex things with Kubernetes. Um, Joe Beta says the Kubernetes orchestration is a bit like improv jazz.
Okay.
And improv jazz only works if everyone in the band is an expert jazz musician,
Yes.
right? So the moment you get a 12-year-old with a recorder join the club, like it's no longer improv jazz and nothing sounds good, right?
Yep.
So Ansible kind of lets you step back and do actual orchestration. So I can order operations instead of hoping that Kubernetes knows the order in which I need operations. And that's super useful for things like if you need to get a TLS certificate for an admission controller, the way Kubernetes wants it is it wants you to have a CA cert to give to the Kubernetes manifest. And sometimes you don't have that until after Kubernetes has created it for you. So what I can do with Ansible is I can say, hey Kubernetes, give me the cert. Then I can template that cert into the admission controller, and then I can ask Kubernetes for the admission controller. Otherwise, I'd be doing it with a bunch of horrible bash and nonsense.
Okay.
And that's just one example. But as you start to build a pretty complex platform on top of Kubernetes, you start to hit more and more things like that. And you have two options. And one is to be a world-class software developer and write operators to manage it all for you. And the other thing is to be a regular person who can use something like Ansible, which is built for regular people, and achieve much the same results.
Okay. Okay.
So that's the route I went
Perfect.
because I am far from being a expert Go developer.
So we're gonna play with Ansible to control a Kubernetes instance. We'll probably have to
Well,
get
so
no.
what we're actually going to do is we're actually going to get Ansible running inside of a Red Hat operating system container. So
Okay.
I used to, previous to working at Red Hat, I
Mm-hmm.
would just do from Debian or from Ubuntu, right? But I
Mm-hmm.
feel like while I can do that, I should probably use my own company's ecosystem.
Probably.
So I went ahead and tried to do naively was like, oh, there's this universal build image. I'll just use that, and there's a Python one, so I'll just use that. And so I did that. I said, okay, now add some things, and it was like, oh, you're not root, you can't do that. So I was like, oh, okay. So I popped down to one of the lower level UBIs, and I still had issues. So I then popped across to Fedora and used the Fedora um, image
Mm-hmm.
and got it working. But now I want to bounce back up to the universal build image and actually use that.
Awesome.
Um, yeah. So that's basically where we're at. Now, thankfully, the Openshift TV actually did a deep dive into UBI yesterday
Mm-hmm.
and cleared up some misconceptions I had. One of those being that, and Chris, if you're watching, which it sounds like you might still be, correct me if I'm wrong, but UBI is really just Red Hat with a different EULA, is what I got out of that. And so if you're running like the main base UBI image, you're getting exactly the same bits as Red Hat. Perhaps just not quite the entire Red Hat OS you might get on like the Red Hat ISO.
According to
Um,
Chris, he
so
says
you run the same.
exactly. Exactly.
So
You are
you run the
exactly right.
same yum / DNF. I'm still confused over which is yum, which is DNF. Is DNF now the official thing in we're at Red Hat 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or are we still using yum, or is it like a mix of the two?
I thought
JJ,
it.
do you know
Yeah,
the answer?
I thought it was DNF, but we.
Okay.
Oh, so Fedora equals DNF for now, according to Chris. Let's see what he follows up with. I do
All
want
right.
to point out, though. Just give me 2 seconds here. Let's go ahead and actually share my screen.
It's a good idea.
So now, so if you didn't know, you can go to catalog redhat.com/software/containers/search, and you can see all the upstream containers that Red Hat
Mm-hmm.
has, which is nice. I was very shocked to see this number when I just brought this up. That is quite a few different containers. And Paul
Right.
was mentioning the UBI here a moment ago, and let's just bring that up real fast. That is a universal base image. As you said, there's one
Mm-hmm.
with build with an init, there's a minimal, and I guess there's two minimals. That's weird. And then there's just a rather larger one. This is the one we'll be playing with, which is
Well,
tagged at a
I
different.
want to slow you down right there because that's
Okay.
another misconception that I learned about yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and that is so UBI minimal comes with micro DNF, and what can happen if you install a bunch of stuff, it can end up also installing regular DNF, and then
Mm.
you can very quickly end up in a position where your minimal image is actually bigger than one that's built from the base image.
Mm. Okay.
So I feel like the end result there is only like use minimal if you want a from scratch like experience that isn't quite from scratch.
Got it.
So maybe minimal is close to being like your from BusyBox,
Got it. Okay.
whereas the regular base image might be similar to like from Alpine, if you know, so the difference between BusyBox and Alpine.
According to Chris,
So I'm going to say, go ahead.
yeah. According to Chris, he says, uh, but DNF is the in rel. But DNF in rel is yum. But for containers, micro DNF is your friend. UBI-init containers contains the system D, and the analogy you just
Mm-hmm.
made up a moment ago was a very good analogy. So this right here, which I did on a previous stream, I guess I did it wrong because I was going to try to steal some of this this work here, but we should be focusing on registry access redhat.com/UBI/UBI then, and remove that minimal for the work we're doing today, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
What might be interesting is just do it with the regular UBI
Mm-hmm.
and then do it with minimal and see what the difference is.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, first of all, see if they both work, and then see if there's a size difference.
Mm-hmm.
And then, because I already have similar with the Fedora, and we can kind of compare across the three.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it would be interesting to see if we can turn it into a multi-stage build and actually push all the bits into the UBI Python and use UBI Python to actually run Ansible versus building it and getting all the dependencies and stuff.
Interesting. I like
So
it.
that's kind of where my thoughts are at.
Okay. Can you type in this window? Just make sure. See if it
I
can.
can type in this window. You want me to actually here? You
Okay,
can see
perfect.
that.
Just making sure.
Oh, let me grab this. 2021. This is the date today. So I thought I would give us a head start. And this is our hopefully working Fedora Ansible.
Okay.
I do need to grab another file, which is the requirements.txt. So I'm going to do that real quick.
I do want
But if
to.
you want to make sure that Docker or Podman or something is installed and usable, and I will get that other file.
So we got Docker installed, which is a good first step. I do want to say to our audience, I just saw a tweet from a local weather station that just threw up on another screen of mine. There is a massive thunderstorm that's about to go over me and Paul's house, like a massive one with golf ball sized hail, I think. You
Ooh,
saw that?
exciting.
Yeah. So there's a small possibility we might lose connectivity and or you know problems. So just if we disappear all of a sudden,
Hmm.
it's not that we don't like you. We absolutely adore you. It's that we just probably lost our internet access and power.
All right. Well, if we disappear, Chris, you have to entertain everyone from chat.
There you go. I like it. I like it. So let me go ahead and start the service. Tmux. And Chris said he's more than willing to. All right. We'll go ahead and start that.
I figured with all that time Chris has spent at Clown College, he should be able to entertain some people.
So if you didn't know, I just want to kind of point this out real quick. I am very lazy, and this is a
Oh
CentOS
yeah.
7. This is a CentOS 7 box. I realize I'm
Wait,
being
what's CentOS?
Yeah, I know. I realize I'm being bad. I will get this fixed in the near future. I just haven't done that. But we do have Docker run hello world working now. There we go.
Cool. Now you know what? It's not bad that you're running CentOS 7, because we can still run rel 8 Docker images in it, and it doesn't matter. So
That's right.
whatevs.
Awesome.
All right, are we good to go? So
Yeah.
why don't we? So I just dumped requirements.txt file in there, um, and I called the Dockerfile.fedora. By the way, I keep wanting to say Federer, as in like Roger Federer.
That's good.
So if I do say that, it's because I'm not very good at words. Why you'd name an operating system after a tennis player, I don't really understand.
He's a
But that's
good
where we
tennis
are.
player, though. He's a really, really
Yeah,
good
he
tennis
is.
player.
That's true.
Yeah.
He is.
All right. So, we'll go ahead and MV this Dockerfile to Dockerfile period, and then
No, what are you doing that for?
no. Why?
Well, if we have, we're going to end up with multiple Docker files, so we should have them named.
Okay. All right.
So we should be able to do, is it, Docker build? You want me to do it?
Yeah.
We'll give it a label. Let's call it JJ. Well, let's call it Fedora / Ansible. no good reasons. And then dash F. Was it dash F?
I don't actually know. I didn't realize you could. I thought you always had to use Dockerfile. This is new to me.
No, you can. There's a
Oh yeah, there it is. So dash F file string. I
dash F. Yep.
did not know that. Did not know that.
Yep. And I think you still need the dot because that's the directory.
Ah, awesome, Chris. Thank you for that. You can call it update_squat.text. It doesn't matter as long as you specify the path. That's good to know. Gonna have to wait for GCC to compile itself. It'll be a couple minutes. That's a joke. That's a joke. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
That's a great joke.
Hey. As I keep saying, the best jokes are the ones you have to sit down and point out and explain that it's a joke, because humor needs to be described in detail.
Well, certainly when you're telling the jokes, they do need to be explained.
Yes.
Yeah, this is, I guess, the only problem with doing this is this first time will be a little bit lengthy. It shouldn't take too long.
No, it shouldn't take too bad. Well, I mean, if it's this is actually a bare metal machine with like.
Hang on, those internets are really slow.
They really are. I don't know why. But we're not gonna.
Don't you have mirrors? That's fine.
I don't know.
We won't fight with it. So why don't we look at the Dockerfile? We can create. Oh,
there you go.
We can do touch Dockerfile.ubi.
Oh, we're not actually in that directory.
Oh, JJ. One file.ubi. Can you paste have you got the thingy still up?
Do I? Yes, I do.
The internet website, can you paste that in?
Okay.
All right. So we want to do run, and then, is that correct? We still want to do yum?
From UBI, according to Chris, microDNF.
It's probably it's probably
different.
aliased anyway, right?
MicroDNF when we want to deal with containers. If I read Chris's notes earlier correctly. MicroDNF is what Chris is saying, yes.
All right, so let me paste this in from the other one.
Now,
I just change it to be...
Chris, being that you're actually paying really full attention here, are the package names the same? Or are we going to find out that, like, GPGME or whatever, no hyphen?
So I was going to do a quick...
no hyphen or microDNF.
Docker run pi bash.
Probably have to be sh.
Have a look at what it looks like.
Oh,
all right, so that works. And we are root, and we're going to be doing yum commands or whatever. So microDNF. Oh yeah.
Making progress.
And does it have regular DNF?
No.
Does it have yum? All right.
Okay. So according to Chris, microDNF is a lightweight version of DNF. Repos and package names are the same, which is the one thing I was most worried about, is that they might change the names on that, but they're not.
Oh, hopefully we can do that. I'm going to start here.
Mm-hmm.
We won't add anything else. So Docker build -t, and this is UBI /Ansible UBI.
Now, hopefully this will be significantly faster than the one above. Oh, I mean, I guess we already pulled it down. Oh,
Oh, the one above still running. Oh, it's actually nearly done. So the one above is now working on the uh, second thingy, I think.
okay.
Where are
So,
my words? So it's a multi-stage. So it's done the build. Now it's just creating the run image because I don't need all the devel packages once Ansible is installed with all of its dependencies.
okay.
Huh. Look at this. We've
Yeah.
already found something that is
Muscle
missing.
devel. Yes.
All right. So
What is that
let's.
one? That's the third one. Yeah.
Yeah. Lose it. Oh, I can't just put a no package matches.
Oh, it's still in the.
Oh,
It's still in the line.
no, it's because it's looking at a different package now. Cargo.
Cargo.
So it obviously just fails at the first um, package. So I think cargo is now needed to build Python's open SSL bits.
Hmm.
If I remember correctly. Uh, okay.
Do
Do
you
we
have the?
need to add more repositories or something?
Actually, that is something I had to learn the hard way. Um, hang on, give me a second here. Operator guild. So I was building some operators, and there was this right here, this micro DNF to get who am I, or sorry, to get user add to work. I actually had to do micro enable repo UBI base OS as a repo to get the shadow utils.
Uh-huh.
So it's possible we need to add this line into our
All right.
minimal container. Yep.
Do you want to go
And
ahead and do that?
yep. By the way, do you have the chat open? Chris has
I
been.
don't have the chat open.
It might be advantageous for you to bring that up.
Yeah, I should have it open. I was trying to keep the number of things I have open at a minimum.
Oh, that's never easy. Copy. Enable. Install. Ah, okay, that makes sense, Chris. Thank you. He said a minimal DNF for mostly installed Docker containers uses libdnf and hence doesn't require Python. Okay, so let's go ahead and give this a shot again. There we go. Nope, nope.
Do we need to do like micro DNF, install DNF, and then just use regular DNF or something for more complex stuff? What is the pop open the website that had the images and have a look at like the actual Python UBI and see if there's a Dockerfile linked and see what that has. And that might give us some hints on the complexity of setting up a Python image.
3.8.
It doesn't really matter as long as it's UBI 8.
These are all environment variables. This is all source image there.
Oh, look, it's using Yum.
It is, isn't it?
So what's its from line?
UBI
Like, where's it
S2A.
starting? Is that what our...
No.
Oh. Dude, I said we didn't want to use minimal. That's our problem.
Oh, yeah. Oops.
Shakes fist at JJ.
So take that off. Right. Let's try this again.
Right. And then I think we need to use yum instead of micro DNF.
Okay. Oh. Yep.
Yeah.
And Chris also just said that also. So we should be able to just take all this away and just do yum dash y.
Right. And then you'll need to re-enable the muscle devel.
Oh, yep.
Oh, just uncomment it from the end. That's why.
You spelled it wrong. It was DEVL.
Oh, that's just who I am.
Decimal muscle develop wrong?
Maybe these aren't. Maybe this is like a Fedora / Red Hat difference.
Is that the correct way to spell muscle?
Yeah, I mean that's what it was. Let me just check the Fedora one. Yeah.
Okay. And then cargo wasn't being shown up either.
Yeah. So
What are we missing?
I need to just Google for rel 8
Yeah, Python.
cargo or rel 8 muscle dev.
Okay. These are not EPL packages, are they? According, Chris is
I
asking.
don't know. Yeah, maybe not. They are. I mean, they're in Fedora, so I just kind of made the assumption they would also be in Red Hat.
Oh, right. Rel 8 might be Python 3 devel.
Right, but like we're worried about cargo and
Yeah.
yeah.
So you want to grab this, I guess. Install the latest release. Change that to yum. Right. So then.
Just do a run above this one, yeah.
Yep. Yum. Install like that.
Sure.
Just thinking about it. Next time, Chris, maybe I should just invite you into the call.
Right. Oh, you forgot the Y.
Ah,
Fantastic.
story of my life.
All right. This is what I want for tools like Yum to be aware that they're in a non-interactive thing like a Dockerfile, and just go with a yes.
That would be nice. Yep, oh, here we go. Making progress. So he's looking for it. Nope. Muscle dev and cargo gone again out there. Alright, so let's go back to some Googling. Tell me you're Googling on your side too. You're not just staring at me.
I'm just staring at you. All right. I'll look for cargo. You look for muscle dev.
Okay. Is there no? It's just called muscle, I think. Is that the same thing? Yeah. Or I
Well,
guess I
usually
don't.
you have like the package and then the package's dev bits. So on Rail 8, cargo is provided by the Rust toolset module. And I do that with this guy here. All right. Toolset. Uh, musl-devel.
I mean, you want to just try MUSL and see if that works? That's
I mean, we
kind
can
of
just,
where
yeah, we can try that. Um,
it's kind of where I feel like we are right now. So, Chris would like just to reiterate, what are we actually trying to do?
we're trying to install Ansible. And these are the system requirements I had to do the requirements in my requirements.txt went for like a pip install. I mean, we can skip muscle dev and then worry about it when we hit an error that
I
complains about it.
didn't like the Rust toolset either. We need to
All
enable
right.
the Ansible repo. I did not realize they had a repo.
Well, we're not trying to do a yum install of Ansible though.
Oh, true. We're trying to build it from scratch, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I want to put it. I put it in a virtual env because that way I can have it exactly the same on my local machine or in the Docker image, and that way it's the exact same uh, set of versions of everything. Let's go ahead and get rid of these two. We'll come back to them if and when we hit a problem.
Oh, there we go. This is starting to smell better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was making the assumption that like any packages I needed to do in Fedora, I would also need to do in Red Hat, but that's maybe not a precise um, assumption to make. So I just added, while we were waiting, uh, a user add for Ansible, created a directory for Ansible, and then are um,
Mm-hmm.
getting it set up, creating the virtual env, and then so next we want to do the following, and I'll just paste them into here, like so. If you look at it now, let's get rid of that top window. So now creating the user, making sure we're in its directory, and
Mm-hmm.
then we are didn't take. Hang on.
Oh, there you go.
We're
Yes.
copying our requirements.txt in, and
Mhm.
then we're doing a pip install. And our requirements.txt, basically all the things I kind of needed to do Ansible with Kubernetes.
Mhm.
Actually, I can
Remove that
pull up.
AWS stuff.
Yeah. I actually do need that for the project I'm using, but I don't need that for this. So we'll keep it simple.
Mhm.
So we can rerun our Docker build.
Nice. Didn't Ansible 3 come out?
Yeah, I think there was a bunch of changes, and I haven't gone through to learn what those changes were.
Hmm. Chris is saying that we should get Langdon on this call next time. Um, Langdon's a good dude, and yes, he knows a ton about this stuff.
The problem with doing that, though, is we'd end up with a very short show because he'd just know what to do and we wouldn't flounder around for 45 minutes.
Very good point. Like we are at genuinely
Where would be
learning.
the
Yeah.
where would be the fun in that?
Yeah. And we just don't want it done. We want to feel the pain, so we
Oh,
feel.
look at that.
Oh,
I guess without the Amazon and other bits and pieces that I had in there, I didn't need that extra stuff.
all right.
So that's good to know. So now we should be able to do a, what do we call it?
Docker
Run
run.
UBI Ansible bash.
Yep.
Ansible. Um, virtual bin Ansible playbook.
Not
All right.
bad.
Well, so I can then look back at our Dockerfile. We can have a look at, let me see, images. Yeah, so our UBI and our Fedora images are about the same size, which is about what you'd expect.
Hmm.
Although, interestingly, the Fedora one is the result of a multi-stage Docker file. And so it's probably a little bit smaller because we pulled some of the dev stuff back out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we could try and do the same in dockerfile.ubi is here. So as build.
Do we need the EPL line on there now?
That's a good question.
I
Let's
mean,
leave it there for
okay.
now, because if we take it out, we'll invalidate the cache and have to do all of this again.
Yeah. Okay.
So now what I want to do is I will copy this in from the Fedora one, and then we'll just fix. Here is probably where we could do probably change to minimal or change to Python, but we'll hold off on that for now. From that, update the image. Are we using Yum? Yeah, we're using Yum. the rest remains the same.
Is it capital build on the copy? Down.
I do it. We didn't need to do. I didn't want to do capital here. That's the problem. So this doesn't quite seem right because we're not getting Python here. I wonder if Python comes.
With Python devel.
Yeah, well, we don't want devel because we don't need the sources because it's already built.
Good point.
So we should be able to do just Python 3.
Yeah, no dash.
No dash. Good call. So let's save that off. And the other thing that is useful to put in here is oh, we won't even worry about that yet.
Why is Xserve in here? I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Jokes.
Luckily, the audience that we have right now will actually laugh at that joke, unlike, some of the audiences that I talk to.
Well, Chris just laughs at your jokes to be polite.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
All right. We'll assume that we don't need this. No such file or directory. That's because we're not actually.
Didn't you do everything in a /Ansible directory originally? Not that opt-bin.
Oh, I created a opt-bin. Let me show you why I had that. I won't actually add it. I don't want to fight the cache, but in my Fedora image, I was adding kubectl to the image.
Got it.
In case I needed it.
Got it.
So I can comment those 2 lines out and rerun
it. Sweet Killer 9 says, "Hi, Paul."
Oh, hey, Sweet Killer 9. How did you find me?
We'll find out in a second.
Sweet Killer 9 is one of our longtime viewers on my ex-employer's stream.
Yeah. Small world, Twitch.
Guess
Small
he's cyber stalking me, which I'll take as flattery instead of creepy. Okay, so that is built. So now we should be able to let's look at our Docker images. Grep Ansible.
25 minutes. No, I was going to say, jeez. Oh, there you go. Yeah, it knocked off 300 megs.
Yeah, so that's pretty good.
That was worth it.
All right. Our next thing would be, can we go to minimal? And can we do micro DNF?
Thinking about it. Oh yeah, because we can just oh yeah, it's that shadow thing I was talking about earlier. This thing.
Oh, if you've got it there, do you want to just paste it in? This will be up here.
So we need this, copy that. I mean, I guess we can just do shadow utils and then go back over
Leave it
here.
as two commands, just so we can kind of see
Okay.
the difference. Did you need to do a dash y, or is DNF assume yes?
Oh, because it's only one command. It's only one thing. It should do yes.
Okay.
There we go.
Cool. Right.
Not
So if we look
bad.
at our,
Ah,
look at our
there we
images
go.
again, look at this.
Not bad.
We
Not
are
bad.
getting there. And then Docker run UBI minimal Ansible bash.
I bet if we remove bash and do SSH instead, we could probably cut off like 50 megs.
I bet you it has bash by default.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, we can find out. But even if it didn't, like, who wants to fight the regular shell?
Yeah. I mean, if we're trying to get the smallest possible, right?
Yeah. Yeah. We might not even need glibc here. I think I do need unzip because there's a couple of like Ansible unarchive
Yep.
needs. And then I assume we need OpenSSL for if we're
Yeah.
calling
Yeah.
downloads and stuff.
God, I hope so. Change it to libSSL. Or no, what is it? GNU libSSL? What's that one? Oh, whatever. Let's see here. Nope, same size. You're right. It didn't do anything.
Yeah. Actually, we can Docker run bash still. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, we could clear the cache, empty out the build cache when it's done. That might make it a little bit smaller,
We could.
right?
We could. You mean like clean up the micro DNF stuff?
Yeah. Isn't there like a go see if there's a micro DNF like clean command or something like that? Clean. Yeah, clean. There we go. Remove cache data. So drop out of this.
Yeah.
Bottom.
Now we can these up. Probably need to move this though. And then
No, go back in.
Oh, what did I miss?
You put the dash enable
Oh,
before
what a
micro DNF.
clown. What a clown.
Hey, Chris, thanks for stopping by, buddy. Talk to you soon.
Hey, see you later, Chris. Docker run. Come on, Docker build. So we were at 366, right?
Correct.
That was our last size.
That is correct. Oh, oh, it needs the
Uh-oh.
requirement argument all. Really? Come on now. You'd think if there's only one command, it would just do it, right?
Right. Now, I would think that micro DNF, trying to be a very small version of DNF slash
Mm-hmm.
Yum, would auto clean.
Yeah. 30
There we go. There's
megs.
another
Yeah,
30 meg.
not bad.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Um, all right. Well, I think we can call this a success.
Yeah.
Now, I guess the other thing was Chris did mention that there was an Ansible repo.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder what it would look like to do a Dockerfile Ansible. And we'll start from
Rel.
where are we looking at? So I'm going to paste so I don't have to type. And do a micro DNF enable repo equals Ansible.
I think that's right.
I mean, let's just see what happens.
Oh, you gotta do a run before it.
Did I really not?
That's why you keep me around, Paul. That's why you keep me around.
Right. Build UBI. Ansible. Just be confusing. Okay. So that's what we need to find. Open up the Googles, please. And find where we enable the Ansible repo. Hey, so Sweet Killer, did you actually know that I'd left VMware? Did they announce it on the channel? Did anyone cry? Were they sad?
Is there a way to know all the different repos?
Oh, just do a like Red Hat 8 Ansible repository.
Oh, looks like you have to do a version.
Installing Ansible on RHEL, CentOS, and Fedora.
Oh, it's a subscription. Oh no, it's in the EPL. It's in the EPL.
Ansible engine repository. Oh, it's in the EPL?
Looks like that's the way to do it. That's what it smells like to me. The current supported versions of RHEL and CentOS are available from EPL.
All right. Do you still have the EPL line somewhere?
No.
Okay.
Give me a second.
You did have it in there at one point.
Yep, EPL. My computer has decided to stop running. Am I still connected? Okay. No, it's Paul. Paul's the one who's gone, not me. Uh-oh. That's not good. Am I still streaming? Hello. Things are happening. Yes? Um, my internet's still working. Anyone else hear me? No.